Folks, welcome to yet another Nostalgianomics live stream. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. It's Friday, guys. We made it through the short week after Labor Day. The weekend is here once again. But I think we need to have a little talk. So, there's a lot of discussion lately about price points and time frames of when to buy, right? There's not as much discussion as there used to be about the success rate, I would call it, of Pokemon investing, right? It seems like a lot of people are starting to come around to it, and even kind of the whatever you want to call them, the casual hobbyists, the people who just hate people that see this, hobby in terms of a business or in terms of value or money or anything like that. Even those people are starting to come around to the fact that there is long-term growth potential here, not just potential, but over time, these things do rise in value, especially sealed product. But the thing that people are really having trouble with is the price points right now. And the reason I named this Adapt or Die is because things are changing. Things have changed. If you think it's going back to normal, you're insane. I know I showed that video of Kevin O'Leary on here on another live stream, but Kevin O'Leary, again, one of the investors on Shark Tank, he was on another interview recently on CNBC, and they were asking him about tokenization. And he said that he wants to see tons of industries get tokenized. He named the real estate industry to let non-accredited investors start to invest in, things like office space, things like, high-end apartments, condos, whatever it may be, any developments. He did mention the trading card industry once again, wanting it to get tokenized, and, named some other things. But what that would mean is, okay, and again, for a lot of people out there, for a lot of like hardcore collectors, a lot of casual hobbyists, you're going to hate to hear this. And I get it, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree on the end and until the end. But what that means is, let me break it down. If we ever get to a point in this hobby, right, where a large venture capital group, a large fund can create a large amount of holdings, right? Whether that be, cases of booster boxes, whether that be large quantities of PSA 10 cards throughout different, cards and different sets, different eras, whatever it may be. And they can sell that as sort of like an index. You can actually invest in that. They can tokenize out the value to other investors. That is going to do a lot of things. All right. That's going to make it so much more attractive to everybody that claims liquidity is an issue, right? Because you don't have to hold the product. You don't have to ship the product. You don't have to have all this insurance, right? You basically just buy and trade it on a market. Okay. That will change things because it will bring in more and more outside money that doesn't want to deal with all the nitty gritty. We're already seeing more people get into this hobby that literally say, I am here to either run a business or to invest. Some people don't even really know much about Pokemon. And I know in the past, people have been really against that and they don't like that idea. And I get it. I understand your side of things. I see both sides. I think it's good for long-term growth potential value in the hobby. But yes, it does obviously, hurt when it comes to trying to find things at a cheap price. So I get both sides of it. But the reason we're seeing the growth we're seeing, I know everyone thinks it's a big bubble. It's not. It's not. I will stand firm to that. Month in and month out, I will continue to stand here and say the same thing. And I'll watch everyone else continue to be wrong that is saying anything different. And all they're going to do is the same thing other people have been doing now for years. They keep kicking the can down the road and saying, well, next month it's going to crash. You guys are out of your minds. You're so uneducated. You have low IQ. You can't tell this is the bubble. You can't tell things are going to crash. I admit there will be times where corrections happen in any market. There will be reprints where some sets do correct for periods of time. But the hobby has changed forever because of one thing. The data is there. There's no guesswork anymore. There's none of this, well, Alex, what if things return? No, nothing's returning. Nothing's returning to 05. Nothing's returning to 2010. Nothing's new anymore like it was back in 2021 where it was the first time we saw a boom, right? People now can go look back. And what I mean is, I'm going to share my screen right now. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is what anyone can do. You don't have to be an expert to do this, okay? You don't have to be an expert to literally get on here and say, Evolutions was all but printed into the ground. Multiple booster box reprints. The set was still like $80, $90 years after release. To prove that point, this is my eBay order. This is mine. I made this order. I can confirm it is real. $533.94 a case back in 2018, 2 years after the set was released. So, a set that is printed into the ground can still rise to $2,000 in literally 9 years' time. That is data. Steam Siege. $15.99 is the lowest list on TCG Player. On eBay, they're selling in the, I would say, 11 to 1300s. So now the weakest set in an era that nobody freaking likes can raise to over $1,000 a box in less than 6 years or less than 9 years. Okay. That a box can go from $100, right, up to over $1,000 in literally a 4-year time frame. That is a data point. You also know the top sets in the era, like Flashfire, like Phantom Forces, like Team Up, can get to $10,000 plus a box. So now that's a data point. Some of these only took 5, 6 years. Some of them took 7, 8, 9, 10 years, but they got there within less than a decade. So now that's data. Evolving Skies is close to a $3,000 booster box after only 4 years, right? So now you look at Destined Rivals, and you have all this chatter, right? I'm going to take us down for a second. You have all this chatter going on. Alex, Destined Rivals is overpriced. It's going to get reprinted. I'm not buying that. I can get in here. I can get in there. I'm only going to pay MSRP. You guys are ruining the hobby. Anybody looking at that data does not care a bit. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I look at that data and I say, well, some of the worst sets, Steam Siege, Crimson Invasion, right? Rebel Clash, SV, or Sword and Shield base. If all of those boxes can get from $500 to $1,000 plus in the matter of 5 to 10 years, and those are the worst sets, and then the best sets all get to 10K plus within 6 to 10 years. And I look at the Scarlet Violet era and I say, Destined Rivals is pretty arguably the best booster box set in the era. It's less than Paldea Evolve for now. And I say, even if it gets printed a ton, XY Evolutions got printed into the ground. It recovered. Crown Zenith got printed into the ground. It's recovering. So I look at all the data. I look at the time frames and I say, am I willing to lock my money up for 6 to 10 years to see possibly a $10,000 box? Even if I shoot for the moon and I don't hit it, could it at least be 3 to 5,000? Very likely. At this point, seeing all the data, very likely. So you look at that, you say, yeah, I can park money for 6 to 10 years. If I'm looking at a freaking 1, 2, 3,000% gain in that time frame, when an S&P index is only going to make you maybe 100 to 200%, if 200, you say, why do I care what price the box is? Why do I care? Why do I care if I pay $200, $250, $300, $350, $400 for a Destined Rivals box? Why do I care if it gets reprinted? I'll dollar cost average in. Why do I care if it sits stagnant for 2, 3 years? Why do I care? So did the other sets back in the day. It doesn't matter. Over time, as things go out of print, as they become more scarce, all the data in the world tells us where it's going. And so, for you to listen to all the naysayers online, you now are believing in a Black Swan event. A Black Swan event at this point is a Pokemon product not going up. The reason it would be a Black Swan event is because it's never happened. Never happened. 100% of the booster boxes have all risen over time. We just showed you all the top sets in all the last 3 eras are multiple thousands up to $10,000 plus in a matter of Evolving Skies 4 years to 10 years with Flashfire Phantom Forces. So there's your time frame. There's your prices. We saw Evolutions. We've seen overprinted sets that still do it. So there's your printing. So now I ask you, what are you scared of? You literally are only scared of a black swan event of the first booster box in history not going up over time, and the first best set in an era not being worth over $1,000 a box within 4 years' time. That's what you're afraid of. And so what people don't understand is people with money who invest every day, day in and day out, and they have tons of investments. Sure, I'm sure they have some safe stuff, some diversified, portfolios, but they also invest in startups. They invest in single stocks they believe in. They invest in crypto. They invest in real estate, startup areas where they don't know how the development's going to go. They invest their money all over the place. They look at all this data and they say, my risk to reward is so high on this, I don't mind locking up money at these prices. To people in the Pokemon hobby, they see a $300 box and they say, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. I can't buy it. It's too much. Tell me when MSRP gets here. Back in my day, I used to pay $80 to $90 a box. Okay, Grandpa, we know boxes don't cost that anymore. All right, that's what it cost in my day. I wouldn't pay a penny more. Investors don't care. People that are here to create a fund, to create a portion of their portfolio, are looking at the returns and they say, I'm good. Not only that, guys, we have this sticking point, I call it. This like argument that I see in almost all my comment sections. Ready for it? You guys have heard it too. I know you guys have heard it. Who are you going to sell this stuff to in the future, Alex? Who's going to buy this stuff if everyone's investing? Well, you can type any single booster box in that you want, and I promise you there has been an auction for it on eBay, and it has sold recently. A lot of which goes through something like Probstein, right? The consignment service where you can just pack it up, send it to them. They'll sell it for you. You don't even have to sell it yourself. I mean, here, let's go back to some of these sales I showed. Let's go back to some of my sales data. Ready? Here you go. Here it is. Probstein, auctioned that box off. Probstein, auctioned that one. Probstein, auctioned that one. Go to Phantom Forces. Probstein, auctioned that one. Let's go to Team Up. Ready? Sale. I'm sure we got a Probstein one some here. These are all auctions, though. These are all auctions. All these. Probstein. Those are all buyers. All those boxes sold. Meaning, you want liquidity? There's no faster liquidity than just sending it to a 7-day auction. Other than obviously owning a stock or a crypto where you can literally punch a button. But don't worry, if tokenization gets here, that could happen here in this hobby too. Just give it time. Technology's moving quick. And so even when these boxes hit $9,000, $10,000, $11,000, there's still forced liquidity. You can send it to auction, get basically full market price. People tell you who's going to buy this stuff. Go look at TCG Player and eBay sales every single day. Go type in any Scarlet Violet, Sword and Shield, whatever set you want. There's been a sale in the last day, 2 days, a week, whatever it is. They sell. People buy them. These are all scare tactics from either people who don't believe, people who missed out and wish they wouldn't have, people who want prices to be lower, people who just want to see the downfall of others because they don't like others being successful. And people just literally do not understand where the money comes from because they're comparing other people's situations to their own situation. And if they can't afford something, then nobody else should be able to either. Guys, the adapt or die is not a clickbait title. It is the harsh truth at this point. So I'm going to show you something else. Let's go back into this. Let's go back into Destin, right? So when you're looking at these sets like Destin Rivals, Paldea Evolved, Surging Sparks, and you go look at the top sets of the other eras, right? You go look at Evolving, Fusion Strike, right? Lost Origin. They're all either right near $1,000 or over $1,000 in literally 3 to 4 years. And then you go back to Sun and Moon era, right? 5 to 7 years ago. Team Up, Cosmic Eclipse, Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, Celestial Storm. They're all in the thousands, multiple thousands. Team Up's 10,000. Then you go back to XY. I don't think you can find a box in that era anymore under $1,000 from 7 to 10-year-old sets. 8 to 10-year-old sets. And so when you have all that data and you're looking at these boxes, why are you pinching pennies, worried about if you pay 220, 250, 300, 180? It's meaningless. You're looking at 1,000% gains in 10 years. And then it's the whole idea, well, Alex, I'm not buying in that high. Yeah. So, if you're buying Apple stock, did you not want to buy in 2012 because it was too high? Alex, Apple stock just ran up from the lows of 08 all the way up to the highs of 2012. I'm not buying. It's too expensive. Ran up all the way to here. You're going to buy it here? Nope, too expensive. You're going to buy it here? Nope, too expensive. You're going to buy it here? Too expensive. You see how the I'm going to wait never works out? NVIDIA. Was it too high when it spiked here? When it spiked here in 2022, was that too high? Was it too high here? Microsoft. Where was it too high? Show me where it was too high. Are you no longer investing in your 401ks right now because the market's high? Did you tell your financial advisor, cancel my 401k contributions, store them up in cash? I don't want to buy anything until the market corrects. Is that how you use your traditional investments too? Guys, investing works with time and consistency, dollar cost averaging, continuously putting money to work. I know Dave Ramsey says a lot of controversial things, those of you that know who he is. But one of the things he always says, which is the great point, the number one success trait of people that retire with wealth in their 401ks? They didn't pick the right stocks. They didn't pick the right funds. They didn't make more than someone else, whatever. You know what they did? They just freaking put money into it. It's people who just take action and do the thing. That's all you have to do. It's not going to matter if you beat somebody else. Oh, I bought Evolving Skies. Oh, it sucks. I bought Fusion. Well, I bought Team Up. Oh, I bought Cosmic. Well, I bought Celestial. Well, I bought Evolutions. Well, I bought Flashfire. None of it matters. If you bought any of it, you are up thousands and thousands of % on your money. And all that mattered was, did you at least take action? Man, I really thought Crimson Invasion was going to be a good set. Oh, I was wrong. It's $500 a box. Back then it was $80. You've made 400% plus on your money. You still won. The only way you lose is by not taking action, by sitting on the sidelines, complaining about it. Life's not fair. Pokemon's too expensive. The scalpers are ruining it. I can't get distribution. Whatever it may be. There's always a, someone to blame. I said this in my last video. I'm going to say it again just to really trigger people because I hear it so often, guys. And you guys hear it too. Alex, easy for you to say you have distribution. I got one box allocated to me on the new set. One box. For all intents and purposes, I don't have distribution. All right. I didn't get in before the boom. I do not get any legitimate allocations. It doesn't help me at all. Put it this way. If I didn't have any distribution, it wouldn't affect any of my gains I'd be having right now. Everything was bought in the open market. All right. So anyway, people say, Alex, you don't understand. I can't find product out there. Unless the people saying that literally never shop on Amazon for anything. When Christmas time comes, they never order a single thing online. They do not use the internet. Unless you're one of those people, I'm going to help you out. What you do is you log on to TCG Player. You scroll down. Okay. Stay with me. This is hard. This is rough. I'm giving you guys secrets, how to pick up product. All these sellers have 100% positive feedback because they treat their customers right, so you can trust them. TCG Player even has money back guarantee if you don't get what you ordered. And you find the product you want, you add it to cart, and you check out and you buy it. eBay actually works. eBay actually works the same way. You can type in, like, let's say Surging Sparks, right? Stay with me. This is hard. Surging Sparks booster box, okay? And what you do is you can even sort it by lowest list if you want. You can go lowest list so you can find the cheapest possible ones, right? And then you just find a good seller. So you click on one, you say, well, this seller looks good, but if you want like a better track record, you can always do that. You can go back and check somebody else. 94.1 positive, not trying to pick on him. I probably wouldn't order from him though, right? And you just kind of go down the list. Who you want to buy from? Toku Collectibles, 99.8% positive, 2,152. total. And basically, you can pick anyone you want. Guess what? You do the same thing. You buy it now, you add to cart. It is that simple. And there you have it. You just found booster boxes in the wild. You can do the same thing with cases. You can find cases right on eBay TCG Player, buy from legitimate sellers. You have eBay TCG Player money back guarantee. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Oh, you don't want to pay more than what you think it should cost. I got it. Yeah, it's like when I used to walk in the card shop a year and a half ago and they were trying to dump Paradox Rift for like $80. And people said, I don't even want to pay that. The card shop should have said, well, why don't you pay MSRP of $161 a box? Right? Well, we didn't want to pay MSRP then. We want to pay MSRP now because it's in our favor. We want to pay market price when it's in our favor, but not when it's not in our favor. Again, it's all irrelevant in the end anyway, because no matter if you bought Paradox Rift at 80, 100, 150, 200, right now at 250, you better believe in 5 years, it's likely going to outpace most any other investment you can make. In 5 years, Paradox Rift is probably going to be high hundreds, if not in the thousands. And you're going to say, I wish I would have bought more, or I wish I would have bought it. I wish I wouldn't have been so close-minded and hard-headed that I didn't want to pay over MSRP for a box. Guys, time's changing. You can either adapt or die. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you right now. Everyone that was here from the old hobby, from the way things used to be, and you got all these price memories in your head, and you're digging your feet in, all the new people don't give a crap. And they're killers. And they are coming in. And there's developers creating bots that are buying out Pokemon Center early. And they're savages. They don't care about your feelings. In fact, the more people complain, the more it makes them dig in. And the more it makes them want to piss everybody off. You're only creating enemies because you're trying to create enemies. You're trying to demonize anybody that sees value in this stuff. And because of that, you're creating almost like worse enemies. All these bots are only going to try harder, right? All this new money coming in, all these new investors, they're only going to want to piss people off more. They're not going to sell just for the principle of it because they're sick of being trolled so hard. I know people think that a bear market is on the horizon. I know people think that we are in a bubble and it's going to crash. I know people think reprints are on the way and they're going to crash the market. All of this has happened before. All of it. Every bit of it. Bear market, crashes, bubble, reprints, restocks, prints into the ground. Forgot that one. Print into the ground! It's all happened before. It's all happened. Every price point you see in Sword and Shield, XY, Sun and Moon, every one of those have went through everything you're describing. Every single thing you're worried about, every one of those sets has went through. And guess what? If you would have just held every one of those sets, you would have made out like a bandit. You could have dollar cost averaged in, bought even more. It actually pains me to know how many people that are here right now are going to be here in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they're going to be so upset with themselves, wishing they would have took action, wishing they would have bought more, wishing they wouldn't have listened to all the nonsense. Guys, the best one yet, the most recent best one. This one honestly hurts. This hurts me. I feel bad. I feel bad about the people that sold. Paldea Evolved is almost a $450 box. And yes, it is selling frequently. Frequent sales. Pokey Notify. I'm going to call them out by name. Pokey Notify, your favorite Discord that tells you where all the drops and reprints and restocks are. They put out these promotions, we're going to call them, telling everybody reprints were coming, and they had booster boxes and everything else printed in the promotion and scared people out of the market. And Paldea Evolve dropped from nearly 400 all the way down to the low 300s. This chart doesn't even do it justice. These boxes were down in the low 320s. They dropped from almost 400 down to the low 320s. And I was paying 85% buying people out of their positions. I even urged some of the people, telling them, This is, first of all, they're probably not going to reprint booster boxes. If they do, there's not going to be enough to go around. They're not going through distribution. You might see some show up in a vending machine. It's not going to be enough to do anything to this market. People were scared. People got scared. So I picked them up. Now it's a $450 box in the blink of an eye. Guys, there is going to be reprints and restocks and rumors of reprints and restocks until the day this hobby dies. They're always reprinting and restocking. This is nothing new. Nothing's changed from day one. Every product I showed you, every product in history has risen despite all those things. I know the in-print thing has people, thrown for a loop, but Alex, it's in print. It's in print. Newsflash, Paldea's in print. Paldea's in print. Do you see it getting printed? Paldea and Fates is in print. 151 is in print. Let me show you. Let's look at that real quick. I want to show you what an in-print set looks like. This is in print. This is an in-print set. They're still printing it for years, Alex. $4,700 ETB case. Last sale, $4,765 3 days ago. There's your in-print for you. In print. Guys, what happens is some random YouTuber or some random person in a Reddit or a Discord group will say things, and then they get regurgitated. And then people start saying the same phrases to feel smart because they really don't know what they're talking about, but they heard someone say it and it kind of meshes with their beliefs, so they repeat it. Repeating this in print, they're going to print it for years. They're going to print it to the ground. It's meaningless. It's just words. It's just words. How's Prismatic Evolutions doing, by the way? Didn't they just get done printing it into the ground? ETB still over 100? Are packs still $9 to $10? Where's MSRP? Where's the ground at? Just wait till they stop printing it. Just wait till it goes on a hiatus for 3, 4, 5, 6 months with no printing because they got to reprint Destined Rivals, because they got to print more Mega Evolutions, because they got to have enough Phantasmal Flames. What about Surging? What about Twilight? Hobbies change, guys. Adapt or die. Adapt. What I mean by adapt is you're going to have to get used to paying higher prices, and you're going to have to get used to having long-term time frames in mind. If you're trying to play this quick flip game with sealed product, you better have a bot. You better catch drops. You better go around and try to scalp. Investing in sealed product has never been a quick flip game. No matter if you buy it $300 a box or you buy it $90 a box, it was always a slow and steady growth game. However, once the product ages 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, we start seeing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a box. Therefore, if you have capital to lock up, from all the data we've seen, you're all but guaranteeing yourself to have more value in the future. I think we're going to look back in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're going to be looking at all these Scarlet Violet era prices, and you're going to be kicking yourself into thinking they were expensive. When these boxes are $500, $750, $1,000, probably Destin and Paldea will be $2,000, $3,000 a box. You're going to be kicking yourself into thinking that you listen to all the mob online. I try the best I can to show you guys the plays, to show you the data, to talk some sense into people. I'm no stranger to the pushback. Look, I've been mocked and ridiculed the entire time I've been on YouTube. I mean, I get it from all parts of the entire community. It doesn't bother me, right? Because at the end of the day, when that collector app keeps growing, right? When your net worth keeps growing, when you keep being right again and again and again, that you almost get sick of being right. You're like, man, I hope I'm wrong at some point. I'm sick of being right. All the voices, all the trolls, they really just fade away, right? You just gotta ask yourself. You gotta ask yourself, do I want to believe the trolls or do I want to follow the money? Because all the money's going for Pokemon, guys. It's not changing. That's my speech. That's my monologue. I'm sure it still won't help some people. To those of you that were on the fence, though, just look to the past. Just look to the history. We were told that 2021 was a black swan event, that market. Now it's happening again, but stronger. Therefore, the only black swan event left is for Pokemon product not to grow over time. That is now more uncommon than it continuing to do what it always has for the past 30 years, like clockwork. And so, if you're a betting man, if you're an investor, do you place your money on what has always happened with every product since the beginning of the hobby? Or do you place your money, your bets, on everything's going to change right now with Scarlet Violet era? It's up to you. The last thing is, are you going to time the market? I'm going to time it, Alex. I'm going to catch every reprint and restock. I'm going to get it at the absolute lowest price. Is that what you do with your 401k? You try to catch the lowest price on your mutual funds, on your index funds? Are you not investing in the stock market right now because it's at all-time highs? Did you stop adding to your crypto positions? Are you not buying houses right now? Remember, you got to use the same logic. If you are, in fact, an investor, that means you're investing nowhere right now because everything's at all-time highs. So you're just sitting in cash. So okay, perfect. You automatically lose. 100% chance of loss sitting in cash to inflation. So you either choose to 100% lose or start to put your money to work. And overall, you're still going to win in long term. Even in the short term, you can always dollar cost average in the few sets that actually have significant drops when and if they get reprinted. Get in the game, guys. Get in the game. You're going to regret it. That's all I got. Auxiliary. Appreciate you becoming a member, my friend. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Let's get into the comment section. Let's get into the old comments. Hey, what's up, Terry? Haven't seen you in a while, brother. Welcome to the stream, my friend. All right, what do we got going on? What do we got going on? Yo, Alex, you're just a big meanie scalper poopy head business owner tuber. Shame on you telling us to buy over MSRP. Oh, Francisco, I like you. I like you. What do we got? Anything crazy in the chat? I don't see anything crazy stuff yet. I'm gonna wait. Crowd is gonna wait so long to admit they messed up. They never admit they messed up. Put it this way, guys. If you guys are new, you probably don't remember these times. But anyone that isn't new, that's been here since I started the channel, I used to go on tons of Pokemon investment YouTubers live streams, and I would debate. We would debate freaking for hours, and almost every person's channel I went on, every single chat was like 99% against me, calling me every name in the book, how stupid I was, how low IQ I was, how I just didn't understand the hobby, how I didn't understand the history of collectibles, how I'm going to lose all my money, yada, yada, yada. And I will say, to their credit, a few people have reached out at one point or another and either apologized or just admitted, I was right, and they've come on board and they started to do the same thing and all this. But 99% of the people, they never admit they're wrong. They'll never admit they're wrong. They'll just fade away. You just won't hear from them anymore. That's the truth. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to admit it. The longer we go, though, the more and more you're seeing MSRP ain't coming. So do you disagree with Dan? I disagree with Dan on a lot of things. I'm also really good friends with Dan. So you can have disagreements with people that you are friends with and respect. Just remember that. It's not a bad thing to disagree. But that there are no cold strikes in Pokemon. Do I disagree that there are no cold streaks? Well, there's definitely cold streaks, right? But what does that mean? A cold streak, in my mind, is a time of stagnation, if not a 5, 10, maybe 15% decline. But that's not on every set. That's not for long periods of time usually. And that doesn't mean you can't dollar cost average in to some sets that maybe go down, right? So like sitting on the sidelines and waiting, anticipating a cold streak eventually coming, how much money are you missing out on by doing that? And when the cold streak comes, did it even drop enough to go back to the price point to what you could have bought before you started worrying about it? Everyone that didn't buy since Surging Sparks because they said everything was too much and over MSRP, they're all kicking themselves right now. And it's likely none of it's going to recover or going to drop to points where they could get in cheaper. So they're probably going to end up not getting in or paying more than all of us did, who kept taking action instead of saying, I'm not going to buy because it's too expensive. It's going to crash. So, I mean, I agree to an extent, but it's just, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Over time, it still makes sense to keep buying, keep holding. If you don't have tons of money and want to pour money into a hobby as your investments, none of that matters. That 1 or 10 boxes you buy today isn't going to make any difference in 5 years. It's really weird you say that, Joe. It's really weird you say that, because on one end, there's reports that a lot of Americans can't even come up with $1,000, right, to pay unexpected expenses, or that most Americans don't have $10,000 in a bank account, right? On the other hand, you have a box like Flashfire, Team Up, Phantom Forces that you could have bought for $100 6 to 10 years ago, which $100 most people could come up with. It wouldn't affect their life too much. Put it in a closet, and now it's worth $10,000, which would greatly affect people's lives in a hugely positive way. If you had 5 or 1 to 10 boxes, $10,000 to $100,000. Joe, I disagree, man, respectively. I think $10,000 to $100,000 would change a lot of people's lives. It would change a lot of people's lives for a mere few $100 investment. I don't know. Just me. Question: will Destin Rivals ever go below $300 a box in your opinion? Will 300 be a good buying opportunity? I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I would say yes. If I had to take a guess, I would say yes. Am I sure enough of that to have no position in Destin Rivals? Absolutely not. I do have a position in Destin Rivals. Would I like a larger position? Sure. But I don't know. If I had to guess, though, I would say yeah. I think it'll be under $300. Do I think it'll go to MSRP? I would say absolutely not. 99.9% sure it will not get to $161 a box. That is my belief. Manipulating will not help you overtake it. When it gets too close to Evolving Skies, don't make sense to buy it over Evo. Evo Skies has way too much good cards. I don't know what you're talking about, but if the box in question is like something like Destin Rivals, by the time it gets close to the Evolving Skies price it is now, Evolving Skies will likely be exponentially higher. And so it'll still make sense. I like this channel, but I wonder what videos will be like from Alex once we get back into a slump, which will happen eventually. Well, my channel started basically in a slump. I made videos all the way through 2022, 2023, 2024. My advice has never changed. Buy in a down market, buy in an up market, buy them again in a down market, hold long term, you will build wealth. All the Timmies will buy and sell and flip and get their quick tendies, go spend it on frivolous things they don't need, continue to just like wipe their wealth away again and again. Buy and buy some more and buy some more and hold some more and hold some more. And over time, you will build wealth. It won't matter if you bought at 90, 300, 100, 150. It won't matter over time. So the videos will be the same as they always have. I will never pay over $3,000 for a Camaro SS. That was the MSRP in 1969. Hold strong to that, dude. Hold strong to that. I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. Oh, man. My point isn't that you can't make money buying and selling Pokemon. It's that most people just want to enjoy the hobby. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, man. I get it. I understand. But that's like saying I enjoy golfing, right? More people want to golf because it's more popular now than ever. And so golf clubs become more expensive. balls become more expensive, and green fees, right? Playing becomes more expensive because there's too many people that want to do it. There's only so many golf courses in every area. And so there's competition. That would be like me saying, I don't agree with the prices of things in golf. I'm not going to play golf anymore. Right? Or you say, well, I guess I got to maybe cut back a little bit, maybe use a cheaper ball, maybe go at different inopportune times when they're running specials, running deals, and still get to enjoy my hobby. And that's kind of what you do in Pokemon, right? I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's good. I've told my opinion. My opinion is I think they should go to more of a Magic the Gathering model. I think they should separate the products. I think they should make a collector box for the value investors and collectors, and they should make a play box for everyone who just wants to open the set for fun, wants to get playable cards, and don't really care about pulling valuable cards, right? Because if you just want a box with no valuable cards, the top hits like $50, yeah, we can get boxes down to $100 or less for sure. But the problem is when people want to have actual value, boxes can't be that low because there's value inside. People want to open it to hit the valuable cards. That's why Prismatic does so well. You can hit thousands of dollars in one pack. Make sense? So I get where you're coming from, Joe, but it's just, that's the way life is, man. Does Black Bolt White Flare have more guaranteed return in the future because of the high hit rates for that series? I don't really think it's about high hit rates. I mean, that makes it more fun to open for sure, and more of it gets open because of that. It's more about the top hits in the set. It's more about the scarcity of the product, how much actually gets printed, how much is left. But I definitely like Black Bolt White Flare. It does have the Reshiram Zekrom, the red Victinis. I definitely like that. Black Bolt, that Seismitoad's pretty big deal. If it will still be in the future, who knows? But it has the God packs. They're not as good as the Prismatic God packs, but it does have God packs. I think Black Bolt White Flare have enough to them to do well in the future, for sure. Right? For sure. So, Joe, I'm not picking on you. I'm not trying to pick on you. I just see things like this and I have to cover them. But hey, dude, first of all, I really appreciate you, all the comments and participating in the chat. And I appreciate you being here watching. I'm not picking on you, dude. I'm not, yeah, I appreciate the support, man. But I do want to cover this. Most people are not viewing Pokemon as an investment. That's true. And that statement is what most people online don't understand. Everyone watches these Pokemon investment channels like my own and others, and they get in their head that everyone invests in Pokemon. Everybody's investing in Pokemon now. It's not going to work. Tell you what, go to your local strip mall, go to your local hangout area, promenade, whatever it may be. Ask 100 people if they not only know anything about Pokemon, but if they have any investment dollars or even collection in Pokemon. Ask 1,000 people. You'll be hard pressed to find one person in the general public that invests in cardboard. It only feels like a lot of people do because you've got yourself in this little bubble online where everyone in this bubble all invests. In the big scheme of things, the millions and millions and millions of customers around the world for Pokemon, they don't invest. They don't invest. Very, very few of them actually collect at a high level. Most people are pretty surface level. They have small collections. They build decks. They open with their friends and family. They buy them for their kids. That's your average Pokemon collector. And so when everyone thinks everyone's investing, it's not true. And so, Joe, it's a great point, man. Trying to find some good stuff here. I feel bad for people who are waiting for Shrouded Fable display cases to hit 3K. What happened with Shrouded Fable? Really weird. It's like all of a sudden, like Shrouded Fable and Paldean Fates like spiked. I don't. What even happened? Do you guys know? Can someone tell me what happened with those sets? Really weird. What I've seen this year from my PC, ETB, and booster box purchases has convinced me more. Going to just average into good ones and hit PKC new release drops and ignore the rest. It's the best way to be, man. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Guys, the loudest people are usually not the ones you want to listen to. I mean, and I know you could say, Alex, you're one of the loudest people. That's fine. Don't listen to me then. But the people who are constantly preaching to do this or do that, or this is coming, that's coming, Armageddon, you need to watch the money. Watch where the money is flowing. That's talk to the people who have the large scale companies. Talk to the people who are making large investments, 7-figure, 8-figure positions, right? Even high hundreds of thousands. They're the ones that have an idea of where things are flowing in the hobby. $151 will make you rich. That means Republic Bricks is going to be a very, very rich man. This guy's got more 151 than I think anybody else out there. I'm not kidding. I would put his 151 stock up against Rudy's. Alex, I've been bored of sealed, been buying raw and grading with Beckett. Do you agree with grading yourself? Chan, I agree with grading. Beckett's a strange choice. It's one of the least used grading companies at this point. The only way you're going to get a premium if it hits a pristine 10 or a black label, which is very hard. I think you'll have a better longevity with PSA. But because it's more liquid and you'll get more 10s, less 9.5s and 9s. But yeah, I agree with grading, making raw plays. Absolutely. All good things. I just Beckett, man. With Beckett, you're really going for that moonshot black label. The rest of the Beckett slabs, they're not that desirable. Pristines are still pretty desirable. That's about it, though. I'm the same age as you. Do you think 10 to 20 years, the younger generation won't be investing in it like us and will die off? Well, that 10 to 20 years won't even matter, right? We'll still be well in this hobby. Now, if you want to say like 30, 40, 50 years, maybe 40, 50 years, may have a problem then. But no, I don't think 10 to 20 years will have a problem at all. Like there's still enough interest now in people in their teens, 20s, and 30s that it won't die off that quick if the new kind of children aren't as into it, right? So 10 to 20 years is much too. I think people forget how fast that goes by. I've already been in the hobby 10 years. It went by like that. And some things have changed. A lot have stayed the same. I think people underestimate how long it takes for things to change. Time's a funny thing. 10 years is not that long. I don't think there'll be much of any changes like that in 10 years. Nonstop Dre, appreciate you, man. Thanks for becoming a member. Thanks for all the super chats during the live stream last night as well. Tigers TCG Den. Alex, should I trade my PSA 10 Mewtwo V-Star from Crown Zenith? No. For a Destin Rivals BB. Also a Barboach to the moon. Buy and hold, baby. Man, I really like that Mewtwo card. It's already done very well. I bought a lot of those when they were around $200, $220. I bought a good amount of them. And they're doing really well. I don't know, man. I've seen how other Mewtwo cards, like the Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends, have done over time. I think that card's going to age really well. But Destin Rivals booster box will too. Here's what I would say. Trade for Destin Rivals if you want the safer play. Hold the Mewtwo if you want to take the more aggressive play, but could possibly outperform. The BB is much safer, though. As people panic about the influx of Prismatic, who's panicking? Who is panicking? I've been able to pick up a bunch of Costco ETB bundle combos. Do you think it's better to break down, or is it whole more than the sum of the parts? Yes, no, do not break them down. Brian, always keep things sealed if you can. If space is not an issue, if you aren't selling right away, always keep sealed. That goes for cases. That goes for everything. Every time you remove a seal of anything, it always decreases the desirability and the price. If you cut the stop tape of a case and you look inside, you already destroyed the sealed case value. If you break down a box into packs, you've already destroyed the sealed box value. Break open a booster bundle and ETB, all bad things for sealed value. So yeah, unless it's a thing where in the future you're going to sell a lot and people just, you're trying to ship them, you know, the easiest way, you can break them down after the sale's made and you ship them. But for the time being, I would definitely keep everything sealed. You can always break it down. You can't put it back together again. What is the best 151 play right now? ETB, Blooming Waters, bundles, Costco mini tins. I think the bundles or Blooming Waters. But Blooming Waters, it's not really, it's more just for the pack value. I think the pack value is going to rise enough where Blooming Waters is going to return a really good amount. It's not really, because I'm not a big fan of collection boxes. The only reason I say Blooming Waters is because the ETBs and the bundle displays are so freaking expensive. So if you know, the single bundles are still a great route. I think it's a better product than the Blooming Waters. But last I checked, Blooming Waters pack prices were so much lower even than the bundles. So it made more sense. If the pack price now, I haven't seen the market recently, if the Blooming Waters and the bundle pack price is similar, I would go bundles. Definitely go bundles. If it gets way out of whack where the Blooming Waters is price per pack is so cheap, just get it just for the loose packs, just for the packs. The packs are what you need. Do you lock in profits and sell some Sun and Moon XY? And put it into SV? Pokemaniac, honestly, that's for you to make that decision. If it was me personally, I like SV at the current price points, at the current trajectory, as an investment better than a lot of XY Sun and Moon stuff. But that's just me. It doesn't mean I'll be right. I feel more comfortable in Scarlet Violet, though. Did you get a Shrouded Fable tattoo? Do it. Shrouded Fable tattoo. That's where that's where you know you're a real one. Uh-oh, another Dan one. Why am I getting compared to what Dan says? They're referring to Catch 'em All collectibles, if you guys don't know. Dan also believes Destined Rivals is way too high and it's going to go lower. Then he proceeded to say, oh, well, I have 4 cases of Destined. That's Dan. That is Dan to a T. I said it. Guys, I say this to him all the time. I'm not talking shit. He is the publicly bearish person I know, but privately bullish person. So he's bearish on his videos. He's always telling people like, be cautious, saying, but then in the background, he's got larger positions than everybody. It's like, it's the funniest thing, man. Like his pack inventory for his streams is like, what was it? 3 or 5 times the size of mine. He has like 3 to 5 times what I have holding in this market that he believes things are too high. So, you know, he puts pallets away for investments. Dan's funny. I don't know why he's so afraid of like being bullish on his videos. I think he just doesn't want to get people hurt. You know, he's more willing to take the risk himself, but he doesn't want to tell others to take the risk, I think is what it really comes down to. And he'll probably see this live stream and comment on it. But love you, Dan. Yeah, man, I think it's more about that. But no, I think deep down he's pretty bullish on the hobby. I think it's more about doesn't want to get anyone else kind of like caught, you know, in case he's wrong, which I get. I get being that way. It's smart. Me, I'm a psychopath and I don't care. I'm a maniac. I just like to give it straight, guys. Like I tell you what I'm doing and what I think. It may not be right for your situation and what you think, and that's fine. But I'm not going to tell everyone to be bearish and cautious and stuff when I'm not. I'm not being cautious. I'm throwing caution to the wind. I just got a shipment of 200 prismatic booster bundles in today. And they're not used for streams. I have my 1,000-something packs of prismatic over there for my streams. Those bundles are going right in the storage locker, and they're not going to be touched for years. They're going to go next to my 12 cases of Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, next to my Prismatic Evolutions PC ETBs, and they're not going to see the light of day for years. So I'm a maniac, right? If you want to follow me, you got to have a tough stomach, because we might see all kinds of crazy things happen, but I believe in this stuff long term, and I'm going to tell you that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm not going to tell you guys to be careful and then me go all in, right? That wouldn't make sense. Alex, everything in a Charizard UPC is $345 raw. The box is $380, and the case is $1,500. There is no sealed premium, and the promos keep going up. No brainer play. The Charizard UPC coming, right? Sounds like it. If those numbers are right, it sounds like it, man. Sounds like a good pickup on the Charizard UPC. I'm glad I still have some of those. What's up, Kings of Kanto? Yeah, I mean, you found the deal yourself. Like, you did the math. Like, you don't need to ask me. You did it. Now you just told everybody else, so you better hurry up. Now you just told 549 people. You just told 549 people your play. Run. We saw what happens when I talk about Paldean Fates and Shrouded Fable on a video. Should I sell my low-end singles and investing more sealed product, or just hold them? I like sealed product over singles, especially low-end ones. I like high-end PSA 10s. They can usually do well. They're more risky, but they can work. I like sealed more than singles, yes. How long have I been in the hobby? 10 years. I want his life if 100K wouldn't change it, right? Can you elaborate why you think Destined Rivals will ever go below $300? Personally, I think there's no way. Yeah, it just depends on how much they want to print it, right? If they come out and send a pretty large booster box reprint through distributors, and at the same time throw a bunch of, Destined Rivals ETBs and bundles out to Costco and Sam's Club and Walmart and Target and all that, I could see it, especially when people panic, right? I could see, a quick drop under $300. I'm not saying it would hold under 300. I'm not saying it would be there for a long time, or the market price would correct for a long period of time. But yeah, I could see it happening. It could definitely happen. Is it going to matter in 2 years? No. Is it going to matter, by next Monday? I don't know. Is it going to matter by, Christmas? I don't know. Is it going to matter in 2 or 3 years? Hell no. Hell no. Do you feel Phantasmal Flames look? Guys, so these kind of questions, Martin, you got to take to other channels. I literally do not care. I don't look at new sets. I don't get into the rumors and the leaks and all that nonsense. We literally do not even have Mega Evolutions yet, and people are talking about Phantasmal Flames. You guys have to slow your roll. Slow down. It's going to be okay. I promise. You can't, it's like, here's the thing. If you knew all the info about Phantasmal Flames right now, what can you do about it? What are you going to do? Are you going to short it? You can't short it. It's not in stock market. Are you going to buy it? You can't buy it yet. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do with the information. Why worry about it? Let's worry about Mega Evolutions. We'll worry about Phantasmal Flames when it gets closer and you can actually do something about it. You can't even make a play on it right now. Who cares? I think a lot of people just like want something to talk about. It's why, the mainstream news has been so popular for so long. People just need something to talk about. They need a new thing, new content all the time. It's like, guys, we just got Black and White. We're about to get Mega. Like, stop looking ahead to the future. Enjoy what you got right now. Yes, they keep reprinting ETBs and bundles. If this trend continues, booster boxes are going to be astronomical, guys. It's not even going to be funny. Do you see a scenario where Pokemon continues down their path as planned and doesn't address destined rivals? It runs up like Team Up. Most people weren't there then. It could. It really could, man. I doubt it. I actually doubt it, but there's always that possibility. Clown World versus real life. Been watching for a few years. Your advice has always been solid. My bank account agrees. Yeah, that's the funny part. Like, here's the thing. I never know when I'm going to say something that's going to piss off the community, right? And I'm going to get all the normal culprits all put my face in their thumbnails, put my name in their titles, and talk trash on me for 10, 15 minutes. I never know when that's going to happen. I don't know when I'm going to end up on Discord or on Discords and Reddits again, everyone trashing me. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. I'll slip up and say something they don't like. But the reason none of it matters, the amount of people that I get reach out just like that and send me the screenshots of their collector app, tell me stories about how they were able to take their dream vacation with their family or buy this car or get a new house, do this, do that, because of watching the videos and taking action. It drowns out every hater. Stories like that drown out every single hater. We've had people literally quit their jobs to go full-time Pokemon because of getting in the community, watching channels like mine or PokeNEs and other people's. Like, that makes you feel so much better than what 1,000 people that hate you say in a comment section. And so that's why I'll never quit. That's why I'll never back down, because I know the content is helping a good portion of people. And the people that hate it, keep on hating. It ain't stopping. We ain't quitting. Full power ahead. This is actually a funny point. If you just enjoy the art so much, buy fake cards. It's the same thing. What's the difference between that and official cards if you just want to enjoy the cards? That's true, man. You hear people say that. Well, I'm not going to buy English. I'm going to buy Japanese. I'm not going to buy Japanese. I'm going to buy Korean because all I care about is the art. Dude, just, get a fake card. Go pay pennies for it on, whatever it is, what are all those sites that, I don't even know, but like, go buy fake cards. Why not? Why get different languages? Just have them print an English one and a fake thing. Who cares? They're all going to have no value anyway. If you go down the line to all these crazy languages, who cares? What's your best buy and hold? Probably, I mean, ever is probably going to be like evolutions. I mean, some of the vintage stuff went up in similar amounts. Yeah, I mean, I think most things, like once you get to like a 10x, 1,000%, that's where a lot of stuff I've had have hit. I can't think on top of my head if I've had anything go much over that. Yeah, something like evolutions, evolving skies is starting to get there. I honestly, I think in the future, Paldea Evolve is going to be my best one. I really believe that. Oh, geez. I have to spend 6,090 days to get 750 bonus on my 0% interest for 12-month credit card. What should I buy? Okay, I'm going to give you an honest answer, real answer. If I was doing that, I would go to all my local card shops. I would source the mintiest singles I could find. I would grade all those singles, and then I would sell those singles off enough to recoup all the 6,000 I spent. I would have singles left over, and I would have the $750 bonus. And I'm pretty confident all that could be done well under 12 months. That's what I would do. I wouldn't buy anything and hold it and cross my fingers and hope it goes up. I would go out and actively do something like that. And I think you can be successful. There's risk involved, like always, but that's what I would do. That's what I would do. It's like people saying people don't like making money from fishing. It's just a hobby. There's real money in this hobby. Yeah, that's the funniest thing in the world, guys. Almost every hobby out there has an industry created around it. Everything, every game, every sport, every hobby almost has an industry created around it where people make money off it. You just have to decide, do I want to be the guy in the hobby just enjoying it, or do I want to be on the finance business side? And by the way, there's no wrong answer. You don't have to be on this side. I don't know what you're doing on this live stream right now. That's kind of weird. But if you're not interested in all this, just go enjoy it and have fun for sure. That's just not what we do here on these live streams. Now, on nights, 7 p.m. Central, I rip packs. Come show up, rip some packs. Better yet, don't even rip any packs. Just hang out in the chat. Enjoy the community. Watch the cards get opened. Cheer people on. Have fun. Best of both worlds. That's just on these live streams. It's Pokemon Finance live streams. That's just not what we do here. That's all. In the next era gets big hype, Pokemon could move on from Scarlet and Violet, and the last half could go nuclear. This exact thing happened with the end of Sun and Moon. It could, man. It really could. And it could get scary. It could get scary. Christian, what is up, my friend? No case premium currently on DR booster box cases at 2,100 as booster boxes rise to 350. Hashtag MSRP gang. I love it. Thanks for the super chat, brother. TRJ just put a video out telling people to buy Miraidon and Koraidon singles. You were talking about this weeks ago, months ago. Who's keeping track? Guys, at this point, man, all of us here, we're just sprinting. We are just sprinting. Everyone else is they're just trying to catch up. They're just trying to catch up. Let them catch up. It's okay. I'm not looking for anybody else to beat. I'm doing my own thing. Thank you so much for the super chat. $10. Really appreciate the support. Do you think investors are around our age? Well, I don't know what your age is. I'm 35. Older, the young gen won't be caring about Pokemon too much and it will lose interest. I'm not sure, but if that ever happens, that's going to be so far in the future that probably won't matter for most of us. You were talking like probably 30 plus years. I probably won't care too much when I'm in my 60s. So it's not too big of a deal for me. If you have kids and you're worried about like them and if they're going to collect things, maybe in the next 30, 40 years, we have an issue. In the next 10, 20, I doubt it. I really doubt it. I don't see it. Can I talk collectibles insurance? Sure. There's the two big ones I know of are Collect Insure and Collectibles Insurance Services. Both of those offer many different policies, whether you just want to protect your items against stolen, water damage, fire, all that good stuff. They also offer policy with travel. If you're traveling to shows, going to collecticons and stuff as a vendor, they offer shipping insurance where if you ship over a certain amount, they'll cover it with a deductible that to or from you with signature required. There's plenty of different insurances they offer all around collectibles. Likely your house insurance is not covering it. Your renter's insurance is not covering it. Your storage facility is not covering enough. You definitely want to have a policy if you get enough. I didn't get a policy till I got in the six figures, but everyone else has different risk tolerances. If it makes sense, it makes sense. And yes, I do know people that have been paid out. So yeah, they do pay out. And it is market price. It's not MSRP. There's enough data now. They take the market price. As long as you can prove market price and confirm sales, you get paid out at what your items are worth. What is actually a good reason to sell through? Like, is buying a house a good enough reason to sell? It was for me. I feel like I will always have FOMO regretting. Yeah, so I have that right now. I sold things. I sold things to pay my house off. In hindsight, yeah, I would have done better not doing that. But whenever there's risk involved, you have to decide for yourself how much risk you're willing to take on. For me, I want to have the minimal amount of risk in my life that I can possibly have. I want to have such a low risk that my wife loses their job, we're fine. This whole Pokemon business all falls apart, we're fine. I want to have our bills so low that we could both go work at any fast food place or any grocery store or any hardware store and go make minimum wage each and still make our bills. So that's how I live. I want to live the most risk off life. And then when things are going well, dump every dollar into just investments because our goal is to retire early. But if your goal is to maximize returns and you're not risk averse at all and you're not worried about risk, and if you lose your job, you'll get another job, and you have multiple sources of income from different industries and you're not worried, maybe there is no reason to sell for you, right? So it's really just about what makes most sense for your situation. That's really all it comes down to. And so with me, the reason I can go so hard in this stuff, we have no house payment. We have no car payments. We have no credit card debt. I use credit cards for my business, but they get paid off every month, so I've never carried a balance. And we have no liabilities. We don't have children. It's just me and my wife. And we live in Missouri, so cost of living isn't crazy here. Our bills are so low that we don't have any risk in our lifestyle. We don't have vices. We don't smoke. We don't drink. We don't do any drugs. And because of that, it allows us to be very aggressive with the investments, with the business. Other people don't have those sort of things. They got to take different paths. So it just depends on what your goal is and what your situation is. But yeah, if you don't mind the risk, then maybe you don't sell. You convinced me to buy Paldea Evolved at $90 1.5 years ago. Tim, I love it, dude. See, that right there makes it all worth it. $90 a year and a half ago. Tell me where you're going to turn $90 into $450 in a year and a half. I'll wait. That's the power of Pokemon. Do you think PSA will continue to be the leading grading company? Yes. When it comes to preserving and increasing card value, or will competitors close the gap? No. PSA will stay on top, in my opinion. Another super chat. Thank you once again. I tell people all the time, you're my mentor and I've learned so much from you. I bought a case of Evolving Skies last year at 3.7K. That's, 3.7K. And I wish to connect with you. My collection jumped up to 30K because of you. Another one, guys. Another one. DJ Khaled. This is what I'm talking about. Thanks so much for the super chat. Congrats on all the success. This is what I'm saying. Like, if someone said earlier, like, is it really going to change people's lives? I don't know. Does 30K help your life a lot? I mean, 30K is a lot of money. I don't care who you are. I don't care how successful you are. 30K is a lot of money in this world. It is. I mean, it can pay most people's bills for a long period of time. It can get you out of a lot of issues that can arise. It can get you new vehicles. It can, it can do all kinds of stuff. That's what's possible with Pokemon. Adapt or die, believe him, guys. My cousin died from not finding Pokemon cards. Am I storing booster boxes in acrylic cases better than storing them in the storage tub? I mean, yeah, probably, but it just depends on how much you want to spend. It really comes down to how much you want to spend on storage, really. The acrylic cases, especially the nice ones, are really nice, though. Motivating. Thank you so much for the super chat. Alex, I've seen a lot of people going deep into credit card debt over Pokemon. Think that this over leveraging issue caused problems down the line. Motivating. Yeah, I mean, for those people, sure. I can tell you one thing. I've been doing roughly 2 to 3 consultation calls a week since we've really been going through this other boom. And not one of the people I talk to is in credit card debt. And most of the people I talk to are all much more successful than I am. And so I don't know, again, everyone's on different sides. It comes from different parts of life, right? Everyone I've come in contact with is very stable financially, is very well capitalized, is investing for the right reasons, has long enough time frames in mind, doesn't need the money. So from what I'm seeing, I don't see a lot of these people in credit card debt. I hear about it online all the time because that's what all the drama channels like to push all the time is everyone's in credit card debt. It's all going to crash. I haven't seen it firsthand. I don't have anyone reaching out saying, Alex, I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a bunch of credit card debt. I got to sell. Maybe it exists with some people. I don't think it's as widespread of a problem as people make it out to be. I think it's another kind of coping mechanism by a lot of people who don't believe in this and don't believe other people have money. There's a very real, I would say, like issue out there in society that a lot of people compare their own life to others' lives, right? And so if maybe they're going through hard times, they convince themselves, everyone in this country is doing bad. The economy's crap. Nobody's making any money. Nobody can afford to live. The only way you can afford Pokemon is if you're going in credit card debt. That may be true for your group, the community you're in, the friend group you find yourself in, but I don't see it much. And I am a dude from the middle of freaking Missouri. Don't come from any type of money. Grew up very, very middle class. I don't know. I don't see it. I've been buying up JT sleeve packs at Walmart. Picked up about 500 so far. Wife's a pharmacist with Walmart, so she gets 10% discounts. So they're only $4.64. Can't go wrong. And I bet she tells you when they restock them. That's crazy. Terry, that's a nice pickup, man. I like it. If the Charizard X EX UPC XEX lacks a metal card, what are your thoughts on the future of metal cards, such as PSA 10 Celebrations, Charizard, Pikachu metal card, and sealed Celebrations? I mean, I don't know how important the metal cards are. I mean, I know the metal Mew was in 151. I think it's more about just the product and card in general. That Charizard card in Celebrations is a reprint of the original base set. The gold, the metal, the Celebrations UPC is so scarce and expensive. I think there's a lot more playing into those cards than other metal cards. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, if it's a big deal, if it's metal or not. I don't have an answer for that, Coolish Shot. I'm sorry, dude. Maybe not. It could be a play. If that's your kind of thesis, maybe make a play on it, man. I'm not sure, though. Alex, do you source singles and grade them? If so, where do you source mainly from? Local card shops, local card shows, or other card shows. I don't source a lot online anymore just because I don't have the time to constantly like go through them and send them back. So if we're in the card shop and I see some stuff that catches my eye, I'll look at them for a brief second and I'll put them in a box and send them when I have enough. But other than that, I'm not buying out mass quantities anymore and sorting them all out and sending some, selling off the others, locking up capital. I've got too much other things going on, but it's definitely a route you can take. But yes, I still do grade. I actually just got my grades back today on my last order. I got another PSA 10 Umbreon VMAX, another Rayquaza VMAX, a Blaziken VMAX. What else did I hit? Celebi Venusaur promo from Tag Team in a 10. I did miss my Groudons. I did miss some Charizards, Obsidian Flames, and Charizard V alt art. I did get some 9s, but I'm happy with the order overall. I'm still hitting some good tag teams and alt arts that I did pay, raw price for. And yeah, still hitting 10s, so I'm happy. Dude, that would be a dream. Rudy, if you're ever watching, dude, would love to have you on one day. That's like the end game. My end game of this channel is the interview with Rudy. Should I sell a PSA 9 Gengar VMAX Altar for 700? Dude, I don't know. Thanks for the super chat, but I don't know. I mean, do you not want it anymore? Do you have something else you're going to do with the money? Do you think it's going to go down? If any one of those are true, then yeah. If any one of those are true, then yes. Brad Speckman, what's up, dude? Picked up a Twilight case yesterday from Dylan Tran from Texas. Said he vended with you in KC. Oh, okay. Yeah, I unfortunately I don't know anybody's last name, but yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So Dylan was at KC. Yeah, so I hung out at Republic Bricks booth, and he was probably hanging with him. So yeah, makes sense. Congrats on the pickup. I didn't vend at Collecticon, but I was hanging out with people who did vend. So Alex, should I sell my low-end singles? Oh yeah, I already answered this. Yes, sir. I'm a fan of selling low-end singles and buying either high-end PSA 10s if you want to make a risky play, or high-end singles for more risky plays, or take a more sealed product for less risky plays. Appreciate you, David. Steve, we got Steve F. I have Lost Origin sleeve cases, Silver Tempest bundle cases, Japanese 151, and V-Star Universe boxes, Crown Zenith loose packs, 80 plus Sword and Shield SV boxes. Will sell a percentage of total. Which first? Well, if you're asking me, you're probably going to get a different answer from other people. I'm not a big fan of holding Japanese product, so I would sell Japanese first. That's me. After that, I would probably sell things like the bundle cases or sleeved cases. I would always sell the English booster boxes last. I wouldn't even sell them, honestly, but that's me. There's a saying in investing, don't follow the crowd. Is that a saying in investing, or is that just a saying? Does that mean it's smarter to invest in less popular sets like Stellar Crown or Temporal Forces, or does that not apply to Pokemon? I don't think it applies to Pokemon at all. I mean, how would that have worked out not investing in Evolving Skies? How would that have worked out not investing in 151? Right? Everyone wanted to invest in those sets. Those were not unpopular sets. They're doing the best. I like to invest where I see the most people wanting in the future. The most people are going to want the most popular items that they like, the most popular Pokemon, the highest end singles, the highest end, chases, whether they be in 10s or raw, and the most scarce things. So wherever I can find the most scarcity and the highest end cards, I like to go to those. 151 is just iconic overall. And so, Paldean Fates probably going to do very well. Very high end single. Bubble Mew, Charizard. Evolving Skies was the same way. I don't think that like Shrouded Fable is going to be the best performer in the era. I don't think like Pokemon Go or something like that is going to be the best performer because they're the least popular. So now, when you're saying Temporal Forces, I don't personally believe that's not a popular set. I think it's pretty popular. I think people really like the Ghastly, the Raging Bolt. It's not as popular as the top end sets, but I would say it's more popular than Stellar Crown. It's probably more popular than Journey Together than SV Base. So I'd say Temporal Forces is like the middle range set. Here, if you want an unpopular set to invest in, Journey Together. Journey Together. Right now, that is one of the lowest boxes on the market, but it holds a $30 promo card in there. $30. Meaning that box is realistically only valued at about $200, $205 without that card. That is substantially less than every other booster box on the market. And that's only if it gets a reprint with that card in it. If it doesn't, that card's going to go to the moon. That box is going to go to the moon. I think Journey Together is probably a good risky. If you want to take a risky bet right now on a newer set, I think that's a risky bet you could take is Journey Together. Someone just asked, what are my thoughts on Journey Together? There it is. There's my thoughts. My thoughts on Journey Together is I think it's a good idea. Good idea right now. How does that work? Guys, we're gonna jump off in about 5 minutes. I'll take a few last questions. I do appreciate all you guys showing up to hang out today. We had almost 600 people in here, middle of the day on a Friday. We booming, baby. The hobby is strong. The hobby is strong. What's up, Zach? My coworker pissed about the Pokemon market. He's Timmy, MSRP. Oh, that's got to be a rough job to go to and hear the complaining all day. Thoughts on prismatic PCETBs? Look no further than 151 and Obsidian Flames PCETBs. That's my answer. Look no further than those. That gives you an idea of where prismatic could go in the future. My favorite card of all time is the Mewtwo GX from Shining Legends. The Mewtwo. Alex, when SV truly goes out of print, the first 4 sets in 151 are your predictions for the box prices. I think this time next year, SV base, Paradox, Temporal and if Obsidian Flames will all likely be 300 to 500. And I think Paldea Evolved will lead the pack at probably 5 to 6. Maybe even more. Maybe it gets a 6 to 7. I don't know. Paldea's out of hand. I'm probably going to be wrong. Every time I make predictions, they're always low. 151 and Paldea and Fates. I mean, dude, 151's already out of control. I don't know. Those ETBs could be 500 plus. Probably. Paldea and Fates will probably be 400. I don't know. Like, I think crazy numbers we're going to see. When they go out of print, people are actually going to panic. Instead of panic sell, you're going to see panic buy because they're going to realize they finally ran out of time. I have 70 plus ETB cases at MSRP across all sets, heaviest and prismatic 151 Obsidian Flames Paldea. Prices have leveled off, so thinking of letting some loose. Thoughts? Zach, again, man, if you need the money, if you have somewhere better to place the money, then sure. If you're just selling to sell and you're going to sit on cash for no reason, I wouldn't, but maybe you think there's a better play coming and you want to have cash for it, that's fine. Just make sure you have a reason to sell. A better reason than price went up and I made money. There's got to be a better reason than that. That's my only thoughts on it. Do we have any good? I'm scrolling down, probably missing a lot of questions, guys. I'm just trying to take a couple more last ones to end things out. Couple more. Alex, I'm opening a new LGS in my hometown of South Carolina with my business partner. We close on building next week. Any insight? Yeah. You don't need sealed product to be a successful LGS. And I don't mean that by having nothing on the shelves. What I mean is you don't need it to be successful in terms of making a profit. A lot of money in LGSs comes from the singles, right? You buy singles 50, 60%, you resell them in shop, maybe even grade the ones that look really clean. If you do want to get in the bulk game, you can take in bulk. You can sell off the bulk cards, in-store TCG Player, whatever that is. And that goes for every game, right? Whether you're going to do Pokemon, Magic, whatever. You can host play where you can charge for that. There's a lot of different streams of revenue you can make. It doesn't have to all come from sealed product. So if you start out, and the reason I'm telling you this is if you start out and allocations are low and it's rough because you're not getting enough product from distributors, focus on the other areas of the business because they can make you just as much. That would be what I would say. All right. What's the last question going to be? What's the last one going to be? All right. My thoughts on funding booster boxes. All right. If you're starting off, you don't have a lot of money, you probably have to get your hands on some money, but start out flipping. Start out buying out collections that you can break down, sell off individually, make a profit. Maybe try to grade cards if you really want to get more risky. Maybe get into the bulk game, maybe get into just arbitrage. What arbitrage is buying from one place, selling in another. Some would call scalping, but it really only applies for brand new product, because sometimes you can find things on a Facebook or Discord or Instagram or a TCG Player eBay, and you can sell it on a different platform and make a margin, because there's inconsistencies in the markets. And so look for things you can do, like footwork you can do to actually make some money and put that money into booster boxes if money's short. So that's what I would do, is start out by kind of getting busy, flipping, looking for opportunities anywhere you can, buying out large collections or large lots, buying out 50 of one card, working a deal, getting it cheaper, and then selling it out one by one to recoup money and make a profit. Anything like that you can make money on. Little margins work, and build up money to fund booster boxes. Like, that's what I started doing in the beginning. I started out that way in the hobby, and eventually, work my way up. But obviously, you're always going to need some money to start. And so, but yeah, you can be very successful doing that. Guys, that's going to be it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for enjoying the streams. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Friday and great weekend. I'll be live tonight. If anyone does like to stop by the Rip and Chips, remember, you can just stop by. You can just hang out. You don't have to participate. You don't have to buy any packs. Just come, hang out, watch some cards get opened, watch some big pulls. Have fun with the chat. Have fun with each other. Build community. That's what it's really more about than anything. Have a good time. If you guys do want to show up, it's at 7 p.m. Central tonight, and right here on the same channel. And so I'll see you guys back here for that. And other than that, have a great weekend, and see you guys back here in a new one soon. We're out.